We do have some interesting stuff here over the weekend that occurred. Donald Trump was speaking at Nashville 2024 Bitcoins conference, and basically he was very positive, talking about potentially a reserve buying a huge amount of Bitcoin if he's president, really speaking to people there, trying to get votes and kind of talking up Bitcoin. And so over the weekend, we did see a pretty solid move here in Bitcoin, and it's continuing today. But look at this. We are coming into a key test level on the chart, the level around 70,000. So
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
let's watch very closely this 70,000 level. Notice there's a parallel line I added in here. Pivot low to pivot low to pivot low, pivot high, 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 and that's where we're coming up to. So this, again, is going to be a key level on Bitcoin right at the 70,000 level. If we get through 70,000, I honestly think we'll easily touch the all-time highs and maybe even go higher. But right now, if you're a technician, if you're a trader, if you're an investor, you're zeroed in on this 70,000 level. All right. Just remember, we have a pivot line down here. Amazing pivot line. I added bullish and bearish on the chart so you guys can see this very clearly. When you're above this line, you remain bullish. If you break this line to the downside and start closing below it, you look for a move down, and that would be bearish. Major technical support right here in this lower range. But right now, notice again, folks, I love showing this pivot line because I think it really shows how important the line is. You came down, you broke below it, you retest it, you're still bearish because you're below it, you never closed above it, and it rejected it. You came up, got above it, it kind of tried to get back below, couldn't because now it's bullish, pushed up, retested last week, just got the push up, and now it's up, up, and away towards the 70,000 level here.
Bitcoin bulls eye $70,000 amid positive sentiment, crucial resistance tests, and key economic events impacting market dynamics. Bitcoin's price rebound sees BTC/USD nearing $70,000, recovering lost support and setting the stage for potential new highs. The latest weekly close turned green, reflecting bullish momentum. Positive sentiment around Bitcoin has surged to a 16-month high, driven by a 20% price rally over the past 3 weeks. Social media mentions and comments about Bitcoin have become significantly more favorable. The Federal Reserve's interest rate decision and subsequent press conference by Chair Jerome Powell could significantly impact Bitcoin's price. Additionally, U.S. unemployment data later in the week may contribute to market volatility. Bitcoin mining difficulty is projected to hit new all-time highs with an estimated 8% increase. This reflects strong miner confidence and network resilience, supported by rising hash rates. The Crypto Fear and Greed Index is at 74/100, nearing extreme greed. Bullish sentiment among crypto traders is at its highest since the bull market began, with many expecting Bitcoin to return to its record highs by October. Bitcoin's current momentum and positive sentiment suggest potential for further gains, but market volatility remains a key factor to watch as economic events unfold.
Ethereum is getting a nice little bid here today after retesting this downsloping trend line. You can see a beautiful trend line there. Tested early last week, got a nice bid and into the weekend, and then up a little bit today. Resistance remains up here around $35.50, so $3,550, followed by secondary resistance at $37.64. Any sort of breakdown, this line is support, followed by a lot of support around 2,900 on the charts. Let's look at Solana, guys. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at this one in a while with you guys. This is a nice move here. It broke above this trend line. So notice this is your pivot line here on Solana. When we were above it, it held, kept bouncing. Ultimately, we broke below it. It came back up and has now recaptured and even taken out this pivot high here. So this is bullish, but look at what's coming up. Major resistance right up in this range from these pivots going back to April and to March of 2024. That's right around the 204 to 210 level on Solana. that will be resistance. Now, again, to be honest, I do think eventually Solana does make new all-time highs. It's just a question of when and does it pull back first. I'm still watching very closely when we're looking at Bitcoin and the crypto markets. When stocks are up, what are they doing? When stocks are down, what are they doing? When mega caps up, what are they doing? When mega caps down, what are they doing? Generally, what we're seeing is altcoins are trading more so with mega cap tech and the smaller stocks as well, the Russell as well, versus Bitcoin seems to be somewhat of an inverse to the mega cap tech names. And we talked about that last week. If we take a look at this is the yield curve essentially inverted, right? So what we see here is this is the longest inversion that has ever occurred in history. We started it in 2022 and it has been inverted. But look at what's happening right here. We have what we would call a bull flag formation. And notice how just over the last couple months, we're starting to get closer to the flat line. And once we get above the zero line, that's called the inversion. It's uninverting. The yield curve would be uninverting. And the reason why I bring this to your attention is because, again, everywhere you turn, social media, mainstream media, it's all about what we're seeing here, right? It's all about whether or not we will see a kind of uptick here in the potential for recession. And one of the things to go over here is very clearly we do have a yield curve that is signaling a bullish move, which is an uninversion, and that is when historically the recessions come. So it uninverts, and then within a few months, you get that recession. So watch for that, folks, but very cool chart. Notice the pattern formation. I've done these pattern formation lessons with you in these game plans. That is a classic move up, sideways consolidation, and then the key is usually this turns up, and it's a breakout on the essentially on this 2 and 10-year yield spread chart, which would mean uninversion. All right, let's get on to gold here. Let's see what gold is up to this morning. Gold inching up just a little bit. Key trend line right here. Notice how this white trend line has held. Pivot low, we held it right here. We're getting a bounce. We do have this channel here as well. So if we break the white line, you have a definitive support around the 23.15 level on gold. Any sort of upside, your resistance is going to be just around 2,500, and it's going to have to push through that channel line to really break out significantly. I do think, again, eventually we do see a breakout on gold.
Ethereum's price surged following Donald Trump's crypto endorsement at the Bitcoin 2024 conference and in anticipation of the Federal Reserve meeting. Ethereum's price rose 3.5% to nearly $3,400 after Donald Trump's keynote at the Bitcoin 2024 conference. Trump proposed a national strategic Bitcoin reserve, and Senator Cynthia Lummis announced a bill for the U.S. Treasury to acquire 1 million BTC over 5 years. This endorsement has fueled optimism for a more favorable regulatory environment. Anticipating the Federal Reserve's policy announcement on July 31 has also boosted Ethereum's price. Traders are hopeful for a potential interest rate cut in September, which could make non-yielding assets like Ethereum more attractive. The probability of a rate cut in September has increased to 87.7%. Ethereum's funding rates reached levels last seen in June, indicating bullish sentiment. The funding rate rose to 0.26% weekly, while open interest declined, suggesting short covering and increased bullish sentiment. Ethereum's price gains are part of a rebound from key support levels, including the 200-day EMA and a Fibonacci retracement line. Ethereum is approaching the upward trend line of its descending channel at around $3,460. A breakout above this level could push the price toward $3,600. Ethereum's recent price surge reflects positive sentiment from major endorsements and favorable economic conditions, positioning it for potential further gains. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.